What is going on, ladies and gents?
Hello.
How is everyone doing today? We are back, episode 7 of the podcast. Sorry for missing last week. Some stuff came up that was personal. I'm not going to get into it too much, but we're back. That's all that matters. Our hosts are ready.
Dude,
what? Excuse me?
I think we accomplished something today.
What?
This is the first time we've ever counted to 7 collectively as a group.
I think
That's
honestly,
celebrate.
Yeah, that
Did
in
we
itself.
beat our record?
I'm gonna buy a cake for myself. That's all I'm gonna say.
Another cake?
I'm gonna buy a cake.
That was shade.
No, that really was.
God.
I want to know what the story behind that picture is. So, Hannah sent us in this podcast chat a picture of Kenny with a full cake. What was that?
Just it is what it is. It is what it looks like.
Did he eat it alone?
Yes, I did not have any of that cake. I was not allowed to have any of that cake.
That reminds me of the classic picture.
He would hide the fork from me so I couldn't eat any of it.
Oh my god.
Little does she know, there's many pictures of Kenny holding the exact same cake over the last decade.
She fell victim to the timeless ruse that Kenny pulls on everyone. He shows up with a full cake in one utensil.
Oh my god, dude. I can't help it. So anybody listening into this, Walmart has these little cakes and they're like $5. It's like a little 6-inch cake that I always will pick up, eat the whole thing, and then fall asleep.
Like, we go hang out and we're like, yeah, well, what snacks do you guys want? And I'm like Doritos, or Jake's like Doritos, or something normal. And this man goes all the way to bakery and gets cake every single time.
I remember the
Never
first
felt
time.
up to it.
The first time I fell victim to it, I was at my mom's house still, and I invited you guys over for a sleepover. And you guys, I said, get your own snacks. There's not much here. And they show up, and Kenny just has a bag. And I was wondering what was in it all night. And I remember I was like setting up the Wii U or something so we could play Smash Bros. And then I turn around and I see in Kenny's lap the bag is discarded off to the side, and there's a full fucking cylinder cake.
Dude, I swear, Kenny's like a tourist attraction on his own, because we literally both took pictures of him like within 30 seconds. Like, we literally...
No,
Hey.
Kenny's a spectacle. That's why he's so popular.
You guys
Yeah.
were crowding
Oh,
around me
God.
taking pictures. She did the same
Absolutely.
thing too.
Yeah.
She took the picture. There's so many
The
pictures
first
of me
time
with the
you-
cake.
It's a marvel. It genuinely is.
Is it
Watch
just
a man swallow a cake.
why?
He just uses his jaw and just like deep throats it.
Stop.
Like that's what he did. You literally did use a fork for over half that cake.
Stop.
Yeah, no, you don't even like bring a knife. This man doesn't even like bring a knife or anything, just in case like someone might want one piece of the entire cake. No, he just brings a fork.
Literally, I'm pretty sure the very first bite you took, you just bit into it.
Can I?
That was it.
I have one word for you guys. Me.
Not you.
My
Me.
cake.
The personal Kenny cake.
No share.
Oh my god.
So, anyways, I want to talk a little bit about how you guys have been doing this past week or the past 2 weeks, because we haven't recorded. So I know we've been up to a lot, and I feel like it's worthwhile to update everyone on what we've been up to. Why don't you kick us off, Keiki?
Cakey. So I haven't been up to too much canker sore. I've just been doing a lot more YouTube content, a lot of just a lot of stuff. I don't know. I've been streaming too, but
Man, your Twitter video the other day is amazing. I was crying.
dude,
There's just one moment in the video. It's so short, but it's just like a perfect joke, because you get your point across, and you make me laugh at the same exact time, which I know it takes talent, practice. So I loved it. I loved your newest video.
I'm glad. Thank you.
I've
been-
heard how many takes it took.
Stop. Oh my god, wait.
Perfection takes time.
Filming yourself is not easy, man.
I was just like standing in the bathroom doing my makeup, and I kept hearing him go, ah, like, over and over, so many times.
I don't know why it took so many takes. I had to like line everything up, like film myself twice, get the video together. Like it was a process. But no, I've been having a lot of fun branching away from just sitting in front of the camera and playing games, like actually going in, editing, putting hours into these things. Like it's been fun. What
I'm
about
excited to see your newest project.
you? I mean, yeah, you guys just got a sneak peek of that. There was 5 of me on the screen, so I mean, that's gonna
Oh
be
my
interesting.
How do you know there was 5?
She helped me.
You said
Wait,
you
she
said
helped
you're
me.
doing some work here, and some of the stuff is amazing. You're even making like little gifs for your live now tweets, and you're updating overlays and stuff. So that's amazing, man.
Yeah, no, like I said, I've just been going ham. Like quarantine, there's nothing else to do. We can go to like Walmart, that's it. But other than that,
Yeah.
I'm either here working on something, hanging out with a girlfriend, or staring at your head.
Great.
What about you? What about you, Hannah? Has there been any disruption with 2 Kennys walking around your home?
Oh my god.
I mean, that's twice the
If-
oatmeal cookies
You
gone.
could hear the headache in her voice.
Stop.
Oh my god. Oh no. My parents bought well, my mom bought like 2 cases of oatmeal cookies, like iced oatmeal cookies.
Oh, danger.
And I did you even have any? Did you actually refrain?
I refrained. I haven't had a single one.
Like
He was busy
like
with the
my
cake.
my mom bought them with the intention of this one is for all of us and this one is for Kenny. A whole case.
That's
One
impressive.
for
man.
Kenny, one for the rest of us.
That's
That's
incredible.
impressive.
Gosh. I couldn't
Uh,
imagine how empty our pantry would be if there was a second Kenny walking around here.
It would be scary. He'd
I think
also
one day-
always be hiding.
I think one day there's gonna be like the family size bags, the party size bags, and then they're gonna upgrade and they're gonna put Kenny sized bags of snacks.
One can hope,
I think
honestly.
it happened. I think so.
So,
Awesome.
what have you been up to during the oatmeal crisis?
So, with the lack of oatmeal, I've had to find other resources.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
But no, I've actually been getting into some new hobbies, I guess you could say.
Ooh. Do
I-
tell.
It's how do words go? I have been dabbling a little bit in doing some rituals and witchcraft and such, so that's been fun.
Did you conjure the cake?
I wish.
You know, I used to know how to do that. I no longer do. But
Well, just be sure you don't make 2 Kennys out of that.
Can
'cause
we talk about this witchcraft? So, what exactly have you been doing?
So I've been trying to I'm very much new to everything. It's my stream, my community, they've always called me the friendly neighborhood witch. And so I've started kind of growing into that title and actually doing research and learning and figuring out like what makes witchcraft. So like last night I celebrated my first ritual. I've been focusing a lot on the moon phases, and today is actually a new moon. So last night I did a new moon ritual setting, like I created some sigils, which sigils are symbols that kind of represent your intentions and what you want. So I created some sigils, I carved them into a candle, and I let the candle burn completely down. And my intentions are now out into the world, and hopefully, oh my god, hopefully, my-
It's not Yami this time.
It's not
Not
yummy.
no,
He's
a new player has entered. So my intentions, the energy that I have with those intentions is now out into the world, and
So-
hopefully it comes back to me within this next lunar cycle. Yeah.
Is the new moon like an opportunity for you to put those intentions out? Is that the point of the ritual?
So the moon gives you different amounts of energy with every phase. So like the full moon is best for recharging, and the new moon is kind of the start of a new lunar cycle. So you want to banish those negative energies and then bring in good energies. Like it's a time for restarting almost. So
I like
setting
that.
new intentions will allow you to kind of focus on where you want to be throughout this lunar cycle. But that's only like a small portion of witchcraft. Like
Mhm.
very, very small.
I mean, I
So
like
you-
that. Like, it helps you. It definitely helps you keep your thoughts organized, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
go through this thing of getting rid of certain things that didn't really work out for you during that cycle, and kind of rinsing and repeating that. I like that.
Mhm.
So I'm seeing some bad signs coming from you, Hannah. First, you walk around with a pentagram on your shirt. Next, you're practicing witchcraft, and you're dating Kenny. So I don't really see
Okay.
life
Awesome.
Oh,
go
no.
up from here. I feel like
Poor
you're
Kenny.
doing yourself.
That's why I keep pulling the tower in my tarot readings. Oh my god.
Oh my god,
Anyways.
that was an in joke. Yeah. So witchcraft. That's crazy. I can't believe that's what you've been up to. That's
Yeah.
so interesting.
I
I've
like
never
it.
heard that.
I haven't either. I like that.
It's always been something that's interested me, and I thought, why not? Like
So do you
I had just purchased my first like tarot deck thanks to Kenny like inspiring me about that. I just kind of went.
So do you derive any personal benefit? Like, does it like put you at ease? Is it like a meditation time?
Yeah, like it definitely it helps me a lot, like feeling just better about myself. It gives me something that I can kind of like look forward to. Like there's certain rituals and everything that kind of help you calm down and focus more on the energies around you instead of focusing so much like social media and everything like that. Like it's a
I do
way to
appreciate
disconnect. Yeah.
I
It's
do.
really
Yeah.
nice.
It's
It
just not
feels like
me.
it's like
that.
I feel like it's some type of like a branch off of like yoga in a sense, because yoga really helps you focus on what's really in front of you and what's important, and it helps you really gather your mind.
Yeah, I heard once you get really good at yoga, you start like having bats fly around you, and black cats
It's
playing
true.
Luigi.
It actually happens.
I don't know what yoga classes you have taken, but that has not happened.
Okay, well, I don't know
But
which ones you have taken if they're the next step from witchcraft.
um
It's right up there with the exercise.
I
Oh
I will
no.
I will say that like actually doing my research, learning about everything and participating in it because witchcraft is a practice. It's not a religion. Wicca is a religion. Um it's just focusing those energies and help you or even help other people around you.
Mhm.
So uh
You know what? I really
it
appreciate that sentiment.
it's
I like that it's about the process for you just as much as a perceived benefit,
Mhm.
you know?
mhm,
We also died
100%.
for
yeah,
2 seconds.
it's
I'm sorry?
We
fine. Our
our
internet
internet
died.
died for 2 seconds.
Oh, do you
Every
want to repeat what you just said then, Hannah?
Yeah, I would repeat.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I have the memory of a goldfish and I don't really know what
So Hannah
so
said she eats a lot of chocolate and then throws it up whenever there's a new moon.
that's true.
I can
Oh,
actually say
man.
yeah to that. Don't even say kidding.
What? Okay, you tried eating my Easter chocolates that my mother gave me when you had your whole bag. See?
That's funny because I did
I
that.
love when it comes out.
The truth
love-
come out.
I love when we get like a little glimpse into what it's actually like interacting with you guys.
And it's
It's
so
true.
so funny.
Oh my
It really
gosh.
is.
But anyways, like actually participating in the practice of it has really changed my view of it because there's so many stereotypes or negative stigmas or just so many misconceptions in media about what it really is.
Oh, 100%.
Um
You know
yeah,
what? That
so
would be
it's
such a good segue for today's subject.
oh.
I mean, I do.
Well,
I,
we'd have to go over what Luigi's been up to.
I do. Yeah, like I said, I do look at that as a good coping mechanism. That honestly, I'm willing to try too. But what I've been doing.
Well,
Uh,
no, Hannah's not done.
He wants to tell
I thought
everybody.
you were transitioning me.
I saw
thought-
your face duck under your screen and you started talking to yourself.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's completely fine. To wrap things up, like it's been a really interesting practice that like the majority of it is literally just learning. Like that's all it is. You learn things about like the way energy works, things like divination. So using like tarot cards or like a pendulum to kind of see see more about like the energies around you and how things are going to play out. So it's kind of brought me out of like kind of brought me out of my depression for a little bit. Like
Absolutely.
it's given me something to look forward to, a little bit more of a routine, because every morning I do a tarot reading for myself for how that day is going to go. And it keeps me, most of the time, it keeps me from just like laying in bed all day and just kind of moping around, especially in times like now with quarantine and everything like that. So I think it's been a really good time for me to really start getting into this. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I've heard a lot of times that routine is really key, and that if you have something to look forward to, it really takes your mind off a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I can agree
100%.
with that sentiment. So that said, Luigi, what have you been up to in the past 2 weeks?
So on last episode, I briefly talked about how
Before we
wanna-
go into anything,
what's that?
you're now a head floating in ether. What happened to your setup?
Wait, what happened? We good?
No, your cam setup.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, Luigi.
Wait.
Don't. I'm talking about your cam, just the way it is in general.
Oh yeah, guys,
What
I'm
happened to
not
your
sitting
setup?
down. I'm not sitting down.
Oh
I am
my-
floating.
What happened to your setup, Luigi?
It dud.
Headache.
I was referencing Band Geeks from SpongeBob, but no, I just recently rearranged my whole setup for like the millionth time. It's just a lot more convenient. I have like my whole bed set down here and everything, so I can it's just so much more easier for me and the dog. Eventually I'll have to get another backdrop or whatever, but aside from that,
Hold on one second. Before you continue on, sorry to interrupt. Why don't you invest in like a green screen or something?
that is in the work. Well, actually, I technically don't. I have.
Do you really want a floating head?
I just don't use it. No, I don't want a floating head. I will eventually do something again with the backdrop. Aside from rearranging for the millionth time, I did mention 2 weeks ago how I wanted to be like the best like dog dad I could be. So that's been really going well actually, because I took him to the vet. His vet results came back very good. Everything great about him. He's perfectly healthy and fine. And to keep myself even more busier and fulfill this goal of being the best dog dad I can, I've been very more strict on like a schedule in terms of the times Yami and I hang out, whether it's a walk, playtime, just relaxing with him, anything, grooming him because he's a husky and I need to groom him literally every day. But I've been keeping track of those things on a schedule now, and it's been very good. I actually have been having issues on staying productive during the quarantine, and what I've been doing to keep more track of that is actually utilizing all the tools around me. So I downloaded fitness apps. I started doing my own research about health, and because I think health is a big priority, guys. And to be honest, I'm not going to call everybody out, but I think that we all, I'm not saying like the guys in this or you guys in this podcast, but I think like in general, people can definitely kind of like examine their health themselves and kind of see like where they can improve upon. What do you guys think about that? Like,
I think you're readily casting judgment against the world.
yes, I am. But
Oh my god, at
I'm
least he owns
also-
up to it.
I'm also calling myself out, so I mean, like, it's a win-win. Or something.
No, I can definitely agree to that, even being someone that's in the podcast right now. Especially during times like these when like things are closed, like the gym, you do have to find alternate options to like staying healthy or keeping up with your fitness. Like you can't go and lift weights anymore. I've been looking the past 2 weeks for weights at Walmart, Target. I've gone to fitness shops. Everything's sold out everywhere. But there are alternate like options to kind of keep up with everything, whether that be push-ups or just anything. No, I agree with
It's
you,
literally
Luigi.
anything. Like I said, what I've been doing is I've been looking at even just the small things. Like I've just watching what I eat and keeping track of calories. The most simplest thing I can do for myself has actually been feeling good. because before that I would just not count calories or anything like that. And now I'm starting to realize, paying attention to these things and learning more about them and how they actually work, is like the first step in helping me reach my health goals. And for a very long time, I've been confused about those. So I'm really glad I'm starting to like take the time to just look at the what's it called? More like research, essentially, just research. Other than that, as far as the gaming world goes, I mean, it's pretty much the same old. Halo streams. I've been staying up while I stream too, which has been fun. It seems
Do you
challenging,
usually
but it's
fall
really
asleep when you
No.
stream? What do you mean?
I mean, I could.
Well, I've come into his stream before and he looks catatonic, so
Okay,
no,
I
I'm
can.
just messing with you.
So we've been up to that, and I've been selling a lot of my collection, a lot of my gaming collection.
Really?
I've been posting it. Yes. Well, all the extra stuff I have, because I've been looking through it and I have so many extra games. I have sealed games that I want to get rid of. It's just stuff to do. Really, gives me like more productivity in my day.
Huh,
cool.
Besides cleaning and stuff like that.
I would have
Oh,
never
the-
expected you to like gotten rid of pieces of the gaming, like just everything. But I mean, it's a
Yeah,
good way of like your time organizing stuff and kind of saying, I don't need this. I can actually give this away. I can sell this.
Yeah, like for me, I will never sell anything that's sentimental to me. Those will stay with me. But things that I know that I don't need or that I don't really want to display on my shelves or anything like that, it definitely can be sold. Someone else can use it, or someone else can value it.
Yeah.
I also have been looking out for jobs too. That's actually been going good. I actually have a meeting with a potential job tomorrow for graphic design, so that's actually really hype.
Oh, there you go.
Nice, dude.
It's for apparel too, which is really good. Other than that, I haven't really. I don't think I've ever reached out into anything new. What about you guys? Have you guys tried anything like new, like really new lately? Like something like I don't even know about because I talk to you guys like every day.
Fitness and health wise, or just in general?
I feel like just in general, we're not quite on the topic of fitness and health here. That is something that I wanted to touch up on a little bit
Okay.
because we're going over.
We're going over me.
Over
now,
me.
now it's you guys. It's your turn to
Over me.
tell us anything new that you've done.
I've been up to a lot.
Who's
I've
I?
been working most of my time. I've been working at a boys' home during the lockdown in residential school. So I've been spending a lot of my time at work. I have to wear a mask and everything. But in my meantime, I've been trying out new games. I've been trying to keep myself to a fitness regimen. Talking about that, because I have been jogging every single day. Today was actually the first day I missed because I collapsed and I fell asleep for 4 hours when I got
You've
home
been
today.
working a lot. So
Yeah, you've been working like a madman, dude.
I have been pulling regular 8-hour shifts every day, and then on weekends I go from 9 to 9 on Saturdays, and then I
ludicrous.
usually just take the Sunday, which I
Wow.
could keep going, but I don't think it's great. And it's paying off. I don't feel
Mhm.
like a broke boy anymore, but now I feel like a dead boy.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of jogging. I've been trying just to keep happy and healthy. I feel like if I'm getting more time exercising in my day, then I'm going to be more productive. I've felt more present in every situation, which
Mhm.
is so weird. It's honestly something that you don't know you miss until you have it. But when I do exercise regularly, I feel like details come to me more clearly, and that I can pay attention more easily.
Mhm.
There's like it's like a fog is being lifted. So I think
That's
something
very
I
true.
definitely recommend, and it's something I always forget I don't have. You
It's
know?
so easy to forget. Dude, I'm telling you, it's so easy to forget health regimen. So I'm glad you mentioned that again because it really lifts moods. It really, really has its wonders. Any type of health regimen that you do.
Right. So have you guys ever experienced that?
Oh, so many times and I still go through these phases where like I'm being lazy and I don't really want to work out. And then the second I go work out and I come back, I thank myself later. I'm like, wow, I actually like I'll feel good when I get into work here at my desk here, I feel much more clear-headed, much more. It's like a night and day difference.
Yeah.
I'll feel ready to run through a wall pretty much after a workout.
Wait, have you ever seen that
So-
movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yes.
No,
Literally, one of their goals was running through a wall just using the power of their mind.
Yeah. Okay.
I think-
I've seen it.
I think when I think of running through walls, I think of Most Extreme Elimination Challenge from a long time ago, where they
just
ran
think
through
of-
walls.
I think of Kool-Aid Man.
I just think of Harry Potter.
I think of Kenny bursting into my room with a full cake.
There it is.
So, moving on from that, I think Hannah touched on a really cool point earlier about her witch-like practices and how there's so much misinformation and just general people missing the point. People not getting it, people not really having the experience to get it, and that's something I kind of wanted to talk about with you guys this week. I know we just talked about our personal lives for 30 minutes. But we actually do have a subject on deck for this week, and I want to talk about misinformation. I want to talk about, like the fact of the matter is, right now there's so much going on in the world, and everywhere I'm seeing misinformation. We generally don't like to touch on the virus too much on this podcast because this is meant to be more of an escape. But I feel like it's responsible to stand up and talk about. There are a lot of protests going on right now. People trying to end the lockdowns. Just so that they can go to work. And I think that this stuff is fed by misinformation. So I think we could take some time and talk about the responsible informing of others. Now, personally, one thing that I like to do is, as a natural skeptic, I try not to relay things that I hear word of mouth. A lot of times, if I hear something from someone, I generally ask where they heard it or things like that. I know it sounds like I'm not as trusting, but I feel like it goes a long way in saying, hey, maybe your mom's Facebook post wasn't 100% accurate.
Oh my god.
Do you guys ever run into that in your personal lives where you're not so sure what someone said, but you trust the person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's a big issue. Because if we trust someone and we're all very able to give other people misinformation, right? So as ourselves, like people trust us. And if we go around spouting out misinformation, it's obviously very irresponsible. So I think, I like to be the change that you want to see in the world. So when I try to give out information, I try to make sure I know it. So have you guys ever been in a situation where like a loved one has come to you and they said something totally weird, but you believe them, just because you trusted them?
I think growing up, that's happened to all of us many occasions. We always look up to people that are older at a young age, and we kind of just believe whatever they say. I feel like that becomes a habit at that point.
I think the most apparent example about this is the fact that I'm sure all of us were told at a very young age that having the light on
Oh.
in your vehicle while you're driving is illegal.
Oh my God, yes. That's a great example.
Stop.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah.
We all had the same childhood, I swear to God.
Seriously.
Or ripping the mattress, the tag on it with like my mom said it was like
The
I don't know.
FBI would
The
come
FBI
for
would
you.
come to your
Yeah, it was
house, yeah.
something so ridiculous, and my dumbass believed it. So.
I think like the real reason for that was like it voided warranties or something.
Something like that.
I
No,
think
it's
like the
actually
machine washer or something like that.
the
guy-
tag for it is actually like the consumer, as soon as they purchase it, they can take the tag off, but you're not
Yeah.
supposed to take it off before it's given.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the
okay.
only thing about it. But there's so many like so many people just don't know.
Mhm.
Like that's it.
Yeah, that
You know what? I was.
Big one.
Go ahead, Kenny.
that legal warning is more towards like the people selling it. Because
Yeah.
there is like an actual legal message on there. Like it's
There's
it's
probably-
terrifying.
But I think
Probably
people
important
just see
information.
like legal warning, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna."
You're
mess
like, all right,
with
I'm
that."
gonna die. Someone's gonna break in.
That's a self-destruct tag. When I was a
Yeah,
kid,
the entire mattress is a grenade.
when I was a kid, there was like a series of like burglaries and home intrusions like going around the area. I don't know if you remember this, Kenny. But I remember my mom told me this crazy myth about it, and I don't know if you guys heard this because I heard it was pretty pervasive. So, this person was, you know, generally like a serial burglar is getting into every single house that he went by, and I honestly thought it was so crazy. And when I was a kid, I blindly believed it, and it turns out that he was doing it pretty often, like regularly. I think once every 4 seasons, this asshole named Santa Claus would come to your house.
Oh my god.
And, just break in, dude. It was crazy. And I looked at my mom and I said, "No."
It's funny because my little sister actually had Easter ruined for her this year. So
No.
Why?
Wait, what?
my parents forgot to leave candy and stuff out, and she was like, "Where the hell is the Easter bunny?" And my mom said he forgot to come this year.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
That is,
God.
she was so just kind of tired / done with the day. She said he didn't come this year. Sorry.
Oh my god.
But to
That
be fair,
is-
like your sister is like what, 12 years old?
Oh yeah,
she's-
she's too old.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Let kids have it. People are dying from a virus all over the world. Come on.
Oh, come on. But I think there's an important point to be made about, if you trust someone and they're telling you something, you're so inclined to believe it, and I think that there are responsible ways we can go about it. I think a big issue nowadays is like we're not trusting so much what the government's been saying, and we're finding, people are jumping back and forth in camps on what they believe in. We're not seeing proof for statements, yet we're forced to believe it. I know like a lot of people are struggling with that, especially the people who are denying that the pandemic is as bad as it is, are people who haven't seen the effects of it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This is something I've been troubled with myself. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but as someone who hasn't really seen the hospitals or anything, I'm
Mhm.
sitting here like, this is a point that I'd like to make is that if there were such a conspiracy, I'm out here blindly believing in it. I have not seen proof. I have not been provided statistics, and I'm out here following the rules. And my view is better safe than sorry, and there's no reason for it to be false. But at the end of the day, I'm just as susceptible to this misinformation, even as someone who's naturally skeptical. What do you think of that?
It's tough because like where you're getting the information from, I think depends. I feel like the most information that we're all getting is just from big media channels, and that's kind of like it. And like you said, Jake, I know you're more about doing research and all that, but there's so much information coming from so many sources. It's really hard to just actually sort it out. So I mean, that's how I feel. I feel really lost when it comes to that because, like I said, there's so many stations and people and social media platforms just talking about all this information. It's tough like what to actually follow up through. So
To,
I'm lost on that just as you, man.
yeah, to
really.
add on to that, it's like the same thing. I don't know what to even trust. Like I like staying informed on subjects like this, but I hear so many things, I see so many things, I don't know what to believe. So at the end of the day, I kind of just try to stray away from it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
I
I
don't know, it's
think,
I'm not
just weird.
oblivious to it.
Yeah, I think it comes around a lot. I think definitely during like the political seasons are times where I kind of feel that I feel a little jaded and I feel like I really don't understand what's going on because when it comes to politics, at least you're blindly believing what someone says they're going to do when they get into whatever their preferred office is, and you're blindly believing that those tactics are going to work just based off the things they say. And a lot of the
Mhm.
times where we're dealing with unprecedented issues and we don't really have the statistics to back it up. Sometimes they do small study groups and things like that. But I think generally, and this is me, like this whole subject is me promoting skepticism because I do think that a certain amount is healthy, and I want the world to be just like me. Um, but I think that there's certain steps we can take to make sure that people are not getting the wrong idea. People are not ending up going out and protesting when there's a big health issue. You know,
Yeah, like why? You're making it worse, if anything.
it's scary.
Yeah.
It really is. Like even not even things in our country for protests. Some of the things that I've like actually seen people post or like news outlets cover of like things in like France or whatever, people like flipping cars and burning stuff, like that's terrifying.
Very
I
terrifying.
don't know, it's kind of hard to fake, you know?
Yeah. And then here in America, you have like those Karens holding up a sign saying, "I want a haircut."
Oh,
Like-
that was awful. I saw one sign that said massage is essential.
So stupid.
Like it's so dumb. And yet the ironic thing about it is that some of these people are wearing masks. So it's like you're
Oh, that's even
trying
worse.
to deny it,
Even
but
worse.
you're still like following the fact that you should wear a mask.
I think at the end of the
I
day, they're not denying the existence of the virus, but they're saying that they should have a right to earn a living, and I think that's like a valid point. That they still should have some kind of right to earn their living, but in reality, it's not a question of rights. It's a question of priorities, and we're not prioritizing the economy or our own personal like financial health. We're prioritizing our physical health. Are you guys familiar with like Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yes, I love
Your physical
Maslow's
health,
hierarchy of needs.
physical health, like before getting your money up.
Yeah.
So
It's obviously touchy because like this is people's livelihoods. Like say you're a barber that owns a shop and you have to close down. You have to pay your bills, you have to pay like your shop bills, like there's so much to it. But at the end of the
Right.
day, like you don't want
They
to
should
kill
kill-
somebody if you're sick. Especially like cuz people can what is it? Transmit it but
Yeah.
not like show signs.
They're
Like,
asymptomatic.
They're vicarious.
Asymptomatic, exactly.
Very-
So like you don't know, that just makes it even scarier and people are out here in the middle of the streets. So people are
Especially
stupid, man.
because you don't know, like most of the time you can't just look at a person and tell that they are immunocompromised. So it's like kind of scary for those who are immunocompromised because like people are just being so careless and like they just don't realize.
I think it's responsibility too. I mean, if I was in that position of the barber who loses his job, one of my very first things I'd have to do is file for unemployment. And I feel like if you don't really take the steps to try to get through this pandemic, don't go out protesting and being that guy if you haven't actually
Well,
took action yet.
there's another ethical question to be raised because the government is the one mandating that you file for unemployment or that you have to file for unemployment because they're shutting down your job. So when the government says that you can't earn your living right now and that you have to make your money through them, that just doesn't breed trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, it's definitely a difficult time, but this is the infrastructure we have in place. But the
Mhm.
main thing about it is that this virus is no longer a singular issue, but now it is a myriad of divisive issues. It is no longer the common enemy. People are pointing fingers at each other. And I think
Yep.
when there's generally so much division when it comes to issues like this, that's when the misinformation breeds. And people are giving their different takes. People are not getting quite the whole picture. And I
Mhm.
think that this is the time more than ever where we should be very responsible when relaying our information that we hear. We should be looking into those subjects and we should be saying, hey, where did you find that?
Mhm.
I agree.
Because it's just gonna snowball, and who knows what happens next after that.
It's like a
You
game
know,
of telephone.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely.
Exactly. That's
like a game of telephone.
perfect.
And I'm someone who generally likes to put these ideas into practice, and I think this is like a great opportunity to promote that type of awareness. And it's more of being conscious of yourself and what you're doing to your community.
Hmm.
I'm also someone who generally tries to stay away from the news because the news
Oh, yeah.
is just a bunch of problems. So in that, I'm also not being updated on the issues right away. And personally, I'm fine with that. I try to hear as little about the virus as possible nowadays, as long as I'm staying safe myself.
Mhm.
Um, which means I'm relying on that word of mouth. I'm hearing a lot of things from other people. You know what? Even when you're listening to the news, you're hearing things from other people. The news has been wrong many, many times, and a lot of times they don't even fact check themselves.
No.
So I think that, again, we should be the change that we want to see. And if we want to fight this misinformation, we can start with our friends and families.
I agree with that. So it's just overall a practice of relaying correct information instead of just the way we kind of conversate with each other, right? We kind of just go off without really saying where we found or where we heard something or who it was written by or anything like that. We kind of just throw something at us and then call it a day. We don't really provide any type of foundation right there. Is that what you're kind of getting at, Jake?
Yeah. I think we should just hold ourselves to a standard, and that's where it starts. And we should promote that standard. I've kind of been doing this since I was in early high school, and a lot of times, people get on me because I question the things that they tell me.
Mhm.
Most of the time, it's like personal experiences. Like I'm the first one to like say I don't believe your ghost story. Um, and people get offended because I don't trust them. But at the end of the day, it's not about them. They're allowed to be offended, but it's a life philosophy that I guide myself by. And I think that in a time like this, such philosophies are gonna make my life better. That I'm not giving into this misinformation.
Mhm.
So, what are some ways that you guys think that we can fight this spread of misinformation? Do you guys have any that you have in mind?
I
I
mean,
think the most. I'll go really quick. I think the easiest thing for like the general public is to start speaking. When you speak any type of information, have the source ready, like at all times. Like, don't just sit there and just speak about a subject or something and
Well, I think
not
that
have any backup to it.
I'm
And it
gonna
could be
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for that point because that's not practical. I don't think that at any point you're gonna be having a conversation with someone and you're not planning to talk about what's going on. You're not planning to talk about every aspect of your conversation as it goes.
Mhm.
I mean, it's good to be able to find the source, but I think instead of having the source ready, what we can do is just be honest and say, "Hey, I'm not sure if I got this completely correctly, so don't quote me on it, but I recall seeing an article that said X." And you guys have probably heard me say something like that a million times because
Mhm.
I'm very against being that guy. I also don't like being wrong, so
Yeah.
I
I
don't want to
think
be that guy who's like, "Oh well." I don't want someone to call me out.
well,
No,
I,
I
I
feel
think it's
that.
more of like a just in general, like practicing your speech, and don't just start spewing information without any type of backup or any. No, I'm not saying have a
I-
backup ready, but just don't be talking nonsense when, especially, you don't even do your own research or anything. You just kind of hear something and then just start relaying it right away. Like, don't do that.
exact. Like if you, I personally get a lot of my news off of Twitter just because of things like trending, but I'm not gonna be like just immediately spewing that information. I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna look and see like as many sources for that information that I can, and like
Mhm.
especially off Twitter because Twitter is not a reliable news source. But I think
Twitter's the worst for that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
exactly. I
It
think
really is.
like I mean you see a hashtag, you click it, and then there's just a bunch of K-pop stands. But anyway,
Every single one.
Stop.
Every single one.
They're everywhere. It sucks.
Oh
it's
my
literally
god.
just you're trying to figure out why the hashtag is a thing. And like yesterday, it was like hashtag Shawn Mendes is over party, and I'm like scrolling through because I'm like, what even happened? And it's just fan cams from like K-pop stands, and I'm like, this this is why people don't like you.
I on one of my more popular posts on Twitter one time, I had 2 K-pop stands post their like GIF for fan cams like in my comments, and I'm like, this has nothing to do with what I posted.
I hope that
Don't
you
do
hate
this.
their tweet.
Obnoxious.
I
It's
did.
so obnoxious.
Thank God.
Like what I want to know is who sees that and is like, That's the fandom
Oh my
I
God.
want to be part of.
There it is. It's
There
my
it is, ladies and
time.
gentlemen.
God.
Oh.
But my point being, like, if you're the best way to combat this misinformation is starting with yourself. Like, being more aware of what you're taking in and spreading to other people. Just like the coronavirus, you don't want to spread it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And it spreads
think
more
before you
easily than
speak.
a virus.
Yeah.
it does. It's so contagious. Like it's to the point where like if I see something, I won't even believe it myself until I see more from like a reliable source.
Yeah.
Like I won't
Exactly.
even open my mouth about it.
Mhm.
And it is a two-edged sword. I mean, when you generally go around saying, "Hey, where did you hear this?" You know, or I don't really believe that until you can provide a source.
People get pissed.
People tend to take that as a slight against them. So I think that there are ways that we can go about saying that without necessarily offending people.
Yeah.
And I think a practical way is to say, there's like a lot of misinformation going around, and it's not that I don't trust you, but maybe I don't necessarily trust that source you heard. Maybe I just want to see the article for myself. Did you check their sources? I doubt it. But don't say that. Don't come at them and be like, I doubt you did your research.
A lot of
but,
people just like don't have the time to dive into something and research. They'll read a tiny little like thing of it, and then they'll be like, "Oh my God, I have to tell people about this."
They
And that's,
literally
like-
read the title and
And that's been recycled so many times already too. It's like how do people go about
You know
doing
what
it?
the worst is? People will read the title and then only read the comments. That is the one I see the most of. People go directly
yeah.
to the comments for people to summarize the article or talk about the article. But you know what? The one thing I see on Reddit the most is that you go into the comments and nobody has read the article. Not a single
Yep.
person, and it's like a big thread. They'll
Yep.
be talking about things that are just like already. People will be like asking questions, but what about this? And it's explained in the article. They just never read it.
exactly.
I just
God,
can't
exactly.
stand it, man. Like that's just it's an example of a large population of how we're lazy, man. It's lazy as fuck.
It really
Yeah,
is.
that's Reddit.
Like
there's-
it doesn't. You're not losing money by reading it. You're not like getting up and exercising. Like just use your eyes, use your brain, read it. People are just lazy.
Go out of your way,
unfortunately,
make good habits.
I like that now. I think you like you said, Jake. It's overall just a really good habit of practicing how you convey information.
What are you smirking at?
Who, me?
The dog is
No.
the dog is snoring in my arms right now.
Can we
Like-
get a snore cam?
There was a dog. Oh, it's still there.
Oh, never mind. She's
The
not
dog
doing it
is still
anymore.
there. Very perceptive.
I didn't.
Here.
Yeah. I don't dogs. Can you please provide proof?
What? You don't
I
believe in
don't
dogs?
No.
Oh, that's
Alive.
too much face.
For all I know, you invited Luigi over and shot this beforehand. And
this is
he's in
him?
your lap.
This is just really good makeup.
That's me. Oh,
That's you, Luigi.
didn't
That's
realize.
you.
I get it, guys.
All
I
right.
get it.
So you know what? I think I made my point. Luigi, given that we're headed towards the end of the podcast right now, do you think we have enough time to talk about your next topic, or should we
I
push
think
that
we
off?
have. I think we should definitely push that off because it is a little intricate. There's some things
A
that
little
I really
meaty.
want. It's a little meaty. I think it's more of like a 30-minute topic type of deal. Not
I want
really,
that-
that's not a lot.
I want that as a
25,
sound
25.
bit. I need that as a sound bit for the podcast. It's a little
What?
meaty.
It's a little meaty.
meaty. We need sound
We'll
bits.
We
We're
do.
desperate need sound bits.
We have to do that.
I think then I think we could do well to talk about our upcoming plans for the next week. We always talk retrospectively. What do you guys got going on in your lives the next week?
I probably will get myself another haircut.
Still? Is the dog snoring?
Yeah, she's back asleep.
I saw the ear stir.
Fun fact: I gave myself a haircut. I forgot to mention that.
Very slick, Luigi.
Showing
My
off.
microphone's not picking it up. I gave myself a haircut too, actually, because of quarantine. I'm not gonna
Hat
have
now.
headphones for a second, but I'm no longer blonde, long hair.
Blonde. Wait, you aren't. You cut it
Super
more than
balty.
I kind of screwed up a little bit, but I did it without a mirror, without anything. I just guessed.
Luigi, I know you're
Luigi.
talking about how good it is despite what the things you use, but to me that just says like I wasn't responsible about how I went about it.
What did you use?
I know. I just like to say that because
mirror.
I feel like if I didn't, one, I'd be lying, and two, I would just I feel like an asshole, man. I like just
Wait.
yeah. I cut my hair, guys. Like, look at no. I'm just saying it had to do something with what I actually did.
What?
to
Wait,
keep
wait,
myself
wait,
from
wait, 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 wait. What did you do? I had my headphones off. Did you use a mirror to cut your hair?
No,
He
I
did
didn't.
not use. No mirror was involved.
Can you turn your head to the other side really quick? That side's pretty. That's pretty even. Let me see. I want to see your left side. Your left.
side?
No, that's good. I like that. All right, Luigi's gonna give advice. This is Luigi's
Alright.
show now.
If you want to know how to cook your hair,
Cook
if you want to
your
know how to
hair.
cut your hair really easily, just examine your head, find all your hairlines.
Examine your head.
Bro, you didn't have a mirror, and you're telling us to examine.
How did you examine your head, Luigi, without a
Oh my
mirror?
God.
Is
My
it-
headset.
Okay,
you
goodbye.
I
Okay.
actually, no,
Okay,
I'm saying because
goodbye.
like, no, seriously, I'm serious. Do that.
Seriously, I'm serious. Do that. You didn't answer our question.
I didn't because my my headset came off. What did you guys ask?
I said, how did you examine your hair if you didn't use a mirror? You said examine your hair.
I felt
Examine
it
your
with my
head.
hands. So I felt it with my hands, and I'm like, okay, look,
You
this-
gave yourself a haircut by feel.
yeah. So like, if you look, you can see my hairline. So like, basically, I know where my hairline is just by feeling my hair. So all my hairlines, I basically bunched it all up, and then I just started going at it. I went by my hairlines, basically.
Yeah, the last barber I went to was blind, so I know what you mean.
Great. But hey, I mean, that's one way. If you're confident enough, go for it. If you mess up, please do not blame me. It's something to do, man. If you want a haircut, try to do it. What are you laughing at?
Is that the dog?
Oh, I swear.
Did you hear it?
Yes. So Hannah was like swabbing her nose or something, and I thought it was her.
Oh my God.
I heard.
I thought it was Kenny laughing because he was smirking. So I thought it was-
The camera was well. I kind of thought it was one of us, and then I saw that the camera was not in Kenny's face.
The camera or the mic?
That might have been the mic. That
Great.
was the crotch microphone.
I can't even reach my camera from here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't.
So,
I can
Kenny,
knock it
shut up. What you got coming up next week?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. What do I have? What?
What have you got coming up next week?
Some, like I said earlier about the health and fitness thing, we went to this little fitness place. I'm hoping to hear back from the guys when they have some dumbbells back in stock, so I can get back into being able to like at least weight train. I've got a new video that's coming out. I've got 2 new videos coming out this week. I'm just gonna be streaming as per usual, and I've got a few other things. Maybe an announcement later this week.
Ooh.
Maybe. Nothing promised.
Cough, cough. That's a hint. Something you could cough about.
We actually shouldn't be coughing during these times, so I'm gonna retract that
Aw.
statement.
As long as
Sneeze,
it's not a
sneeze.
dry cough,
Fart.
just as bad. That could be just as bad.
No, the dry cough is the symptom. Wet coughs aren't.
Oh,
As long as it's wet.
People-
Why would
people
you
don't know
believe
the
me?
difference.
Why?
all right, great.
Hannah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, what's popping in the
In Hannah
in
Land,
the washer world?
Washer World.
Washer World. Great. So for this next week, I'm just kind of, I don't know. I'm getting back into streaming again. I know I say that a lot, but I take a lot of break. So I'm
What did you
actually
end up streaming the other day?
what?
What did you end up streaming the other day? I didn't
I
get to
was
stick
just-
around.
I was just doing just chatting for a while, and then I played some Slay the Spire.
Ooh, I'm
Ooh.
upset I missed that. Well, you should get your own response.
Awesome.
Tonight I'm gonna be probably starting off stream again with just chatting and probably moving to some New Horizons, Animal
Ooh.
Crossing.
The classic.
The classic.
But what I have planned for this next week, excited for.
Ooh.
I am setting up
Didn't say anything.
for he knows. I'm setting up for Beltane. Excited
What?
for Beltane.
What's that?
It is like the May Day festival. It is May 1st, kind of just
Mm,
I don't even know how to
It's my
Wait, in
mom's
real
favorite
life?
holiday.
I've never heard of that.
it's I've been looking a lot more into those like pagan and like just pagan holidays, I guess.
Kenny, did you say it's your mom's favorite holiday?
Yes.
Are you
Why?
joking?
Beltane.
real? Oh my god.
Oh, Beltane. I get it.
No, shut up. Go ahead, Hannah.
You
Excuse
told me
me?
to shut. You told me to shut up in 2 minutes. 2 times.
We're not talking about that.
Anyways, I don't know, I'm just gonna be setting up a couple different colored candles for my altar, lighting those for the ritual. Because Beltane, you typically light like a huge bonfire or a bunch of candles if you're stuck indoors, so that's what I'm doing.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the joke Kenny made. I'm sorry. Go on.
It's fine.
Draw
Kenny,
attention to it.
always. But I'm also decorating my altar with some birch tree sticks or some bark because
Ooh.
birch is one of the like trees that they kind of come to bloom during May. So along with hawthorn trees, things like that. Anyways, enough of the history lesson.
Oh shit. What
but-
about speaking of your altar, what about all the new plants we
Hold on.
got?
Look at the dog.
Oh.
She's
Look at the dog.
Oh my god. She's extra wrinkly today.
I saw one eye peek above the screen, half open, red.
That's great. That's
Continue, Kenny.
Anyway.
No, I'm gonna pass that off to her. The speaking of her altar, we have a bunch of new plants and stuff in our room.
Yeah. Also, I should probably preface. Do you guys happen to know what an altar is? Because I could describe
Yes,
that.
but no. Yes and no. Like I couldn't tell you like a complete definition, but I do general.
Tell us what an altar is.
So an altar is kind of like just a sacred space. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be small. A sacred space where you do your practice. So even in like certain religions, you can have like an altar, and that's the area in which like you pray. But for witchcraft, it kind of hosts little things that you feel like give you a lot of energy. You can have plants, like you can have literally anything on. So on mine, I have several candles. I have an incense burner. I do my tarot readings on there, unless they're like really big readings where I need more cards. But we recently added 9 new plants to my altar. So I have like 2 hanging plants, a giant aloe, 2 tiny succulents, 2 mini cacti, another one that I don't know what it is, and then a money tree. But yeah, we're
What?
just
What? Money
filling.
tree?
Yes.
Any lilac?
Lilac.
Oh my god.
That's awesome though. I actually I do plan on getting plants soon for the spring. I actually like gardening myself. So
An
It-
altar
oh my
is
gosh.
this. I do plan on
But-
getting plants.
Adding
Legend.
plants has changed the entire vibe, and it makes me feel a lot more
It makes me feel less
connected.
dead.
Honestly,
yeah,
it
no.
it helps me feel
I do that.
so connected when I'm trying to bring in those energies, having like plants there that I talk to. It's fine. I'm not lonely.
Oh my
It's
Do you know what is to her right now after she says that? She has
A piranha
these
plant?
things.
No,
Luigi, who are
What?
you, man?
I don't even know who I am, Kenny.
Wait, I'm confused. What do you mean? What is to her right?
Me and the dog, and she says she's
Oh.
lonely.
yeah, they're
Oh.
bad.
Oh, I just didn't get your point. Okay.
I didn't get it either. That's bad.
It's
That dog
fine.
is honestly, that dog is so content right now.
Yeah, he must not taking all the oxygen there, huh?
No,
He's not yummy. He doesn't soak up the room.
she snores every 2 seconds though. Like she'll be asleep in like a minute,
I
tops.
prefer my coffee tables to take all the oxygen from me. I don't like to breathe. Luigi, you're talking about how you're taking better care of your dog. Does that mean you're gonna start using a coaster before you put your drinks on him?
Yes, yes, I will be.
That
I
is
have to-
impressive.
I have to remove the saddle,
Why
but
to keep his coat shiny? The saddle.
dude, honestly, I feel like when he grows full size, he might actually be able to carry me.
Is he not full size?
Oh, it's gonna be a long time. Huskies are real slow.
Yami's not full size.
No,
He's fucking huge.
They only grow for like a year and a half, Luigi.
he's not. He's not huge, and two, he's kind of still small.
He is huge.
He's
a
pretty
large
big.
dog.
Maybe okay, so you probably don't realize it because you live
Oh
with
my
him.
god, what is going on?
Oh my god. He's
Dead.
he's a pretty
he's
big
really-
dog.
He will.
Look at those.
Why are you
He will.
showing us your carpet?
My really uneven carpet that's hiding all my wires,
Your dead bear carpet.
and my camera.
Oh my
that I
god,
moved.
wait, no, I'm wrong. Specific to huskies, it can take as long as 36 months for some males to reach their full size. 3
Mhm.
years.
He turns 2 in July, so he's still got at least
Oh,
a year to go
Jesus.
before I can determine how big he's actually gonna be. Huskies grow very slow. But yeah, that's pretty funny. If I ever do that, I'll let you guys know.
Do what?
Ride my dog with a fucking saddle.
Oh,
Great.
nobody knew what you meant.
I mean, he could definitely carry a small child.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
anybody
used to make that
who-
joke all the time. My stepmom has a German Shepherd, and it's her pride. She brings it to training. She loves that dog. His name's Sarge. Kenny's met Sarge.
I love Sarge.
I love Sarge. Everyone loves Sarge. Probably my favorite dog ever. Just such a big goofball. And I would make jokes to her about getting a saddle for him and riding him across the backyard, and she would get pissed.
Oh really? Oh,
Dude.
I would do just to torture her. I'd be like, when are we getting the saddle?
when are we getting the saddle?
I literally, when I was a little kid, I used to make that joke about Avalanche all the time. One time, my parents were like in the backyard cleaning the pool, and my sister and I were like in the little fenced-in area, and I put Shannon on Avalanche's back, and he took off, and she went flying backwards. I watched her
Oh
hit
my
hit the
God.
cement so fast. I was so scared, man.
That's an incredible story. I'm so surprised you've never told us that.
Yeah, I've
I
never
have
heard that.
so many stories.
Oh my
God. This all
That's
makes me
good,
want to
man.
like. I have 2 little wiener dogs. I want to strap my feet to them and use them like roller skates.
Oh
my god.
That's creative.
They weigh
If you could
15
pull
pounds.
Yeah, I would absolutely destroy their backs. I
Yeah.
would
It's
probably
worth
kill
a
them if I
shot.
stepped on them.
I'm
Is
gonna
it
try
worth
it
the
For
tonight.
science.
I'm gonna
Just for
try it.
science.
Oh,
We gotta know. You should record it. See what happens.
great.
PETA is being dialed right now.
You might invent a new extreme sport. It's like the first person to put like a sled on a bunch of huskies. You'll be that person.
Luigi,
It's advanced.
when are
wiener
you
dog
doing it to
racing.
Yummy?
Advanced
this-
weaning.
The next winter, I actually do. I like legitimately am going to look into a sled because I want to see what he can do.
Oh my god, Luigi, he's not gonna
he's
be
gonna
able
love
to
it.
pull you.
Yes, he can. Okay,
Sled dogs have like 8 or 9 dogs.
Like
he
for
can pull
1 to 2
okay,
people.
He can pull me. If he can pull me uphill on a longboard, I think he can drag me on a sled a bit.
A
a sled
longboard
doesn't
has
have
less
wheels.
friction than a sled.
But if we're going uphill, it's almost evened out. If
No.
we're like we're talking a steep hill, we're not just talking a hill. We're talking a really steep hill.
All right, Luigi, you know what? I was just advocating for skating on wiener dogs, so shoot your shot.
I'll advocate for something soon. I can't think of anything yet. My only idea is the
Didn't
saddle.
need to hear that. What's our time looking like, Kenny?
We are an hour and 5 minutes.
All right.
for episode
I think
length.
it's about time we wrap up.
Yeah, we can wrap up. Sounds good to me.
Alrighty. So this week we covered our personal lives.
We covered cake,
how-
plants,
Cake.
Luigi's sled dog.
We talked about how we can combat the spread of misinformation or even disinformation.
Health and fitness as well
We
during
had
these
a little
times.
witchcraft lesson.
We had a lot of witchcraft lessons. I know so much that I didn't know.
The dog
I'm
snorting
very
to the
excited
mic.
about it.
Yeah,
I
we
wanna
had
talk more.
snoring.
About that actually. I want more specifically on how things like like witchcraft are probably frowned upon for some reason because it's a great coping mechanism. So I want
What?
I
dive into that.
I will say this. I this actually might be really controversial, but the entire reason that witchcraft is frowned upon is because in the past
Pagan.
the Christian church has deemed it evil to
Yeah.
promote their own religion, and thus, hundreds of
That's
were burned.
that's so messed up.
Well,
'cause that's how our world works.
I mean, it's here's the thing is that the word pagan just talks about religions that are not part of the major religions. If you hear the word pagan, you're hearing about, a myriad of different religions and it's a Christian word that the Christians have labeled
Yeah.
more or less non-Christian. And in history, the Christian church has taken a lot of steps to combat the spread of paganism in order to promote Christianity, and this is just one facet of that. For instance, Christmas. Historically, if you believe in the birth of Jesus, the best historic guesses would probably place that birth closer to the middle of the year than the ends. But
Because
they took a holiday from pagans. They moved it to December 25th. Hannah wants
seriously,
to talk.
yes. So if you actually think about like scripture and all of that stuff, I read the Bible, it's fine. Like
I have two.
the reason, like, why would there be like livestock out in the middle of winter? Like
Well,
that's just one point.
they're in the Middle
But
East.
well, yeah, to be fair. But it's fine. But regardless, I don't know. It's just think about it. Think about. I'm not bashing like Christianity, anything like that.
Hannah's bashing
The
Christianity.
there
Saturday
are
night.
there are
Okay.
actually like Christian witches. Like that is a thing. But for those who say like, oh, witchcraft is like satanic, and there are satanic witches, that's also a thing. Witchcraft is not a religion, it is just a practice, and you can be atheistic, polytheistic, monotheistic, whatever.
You have a pentagram on your merch.
But it's fine. It's actually a pentacle, not a pentagram, because it has the circle around it. So anyway, we'll get into that another time. But so when you really think about like the rituals that people do in witchcraft compared to, people don't like calling it that, but rituals in Christianity, like
Yeah.
Christians literally drink wine and eat bread pretending that they are the blood and flesh of Jesus. Like if that is not scary, I don't know what else.
Jesus
Like I
Christ.
literally
It's not scary.
Well,
because
I
you grew
mean,
up with it.
you kind of said not to shit on them,
And then
but they
shit on
pretend
them.
and they're scary.
No, it's true.
mean-
I mean,
I mean,
But the
regardless of my
majority-
personal opinion,
Yeah.
like I'm just yes, there's a valid point to be made about rituals and symbolism and how people are very people have tendencies to call out other belief systems before they take an introspective look at their own, and I think that's valid.
exactly.
I think there's a certain way to go about talking about it, but
it's a sensitive
But-
topic. You know?
It is something really interesting. Like I never understood, like I have people in my family who are like Christian, and I never understood the purpose of prayer until I got into witchcraft. As strange as that sounds, because in witchcraft it's so common to use tools and to harness like energy from other things around you to focus your intent and what you want to happen in the universe.
Mhm.
Prayer is literally that same exact thing, but you're just using yourself and only your intention, not the energy of anything else. I never understood that until I got into witchcraft.
I think it's a much more literal. it's a much more literal interpretation in terms of meditation in witchcraft versus meditation in Christianity. It's
Mm.
more about, how you are handling your emotions rather than how you are trying to find tranquility. I think the end goal is very set and obvious when you're talking about it in terms of witchcraft. But in Christianity, they're essentially doing a very similar practice that if you were to ask them, they would agree that it doesn't really have as much stake on what really happens. It's more of a practice in tranquility and understanding. But they
Yeah.
they don't really state it as such. It's a lot more vague.
Yeah. A lot more big. Oh my god. But
Anyways,
anywho.
conversation for another day. I'm sure we can get a whole podcast out of that one.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
Honestly.
Jesus.
Someone's gonna get us kicked off YouTube.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in to episode 7 of the podcast. We had some great topics today. If you guys would like to ask us any questions from the podcast, our Twitter handles are below. If you want to send us any DMs or tweet out at us, or find us at TheFaultyFew on Twitter. Stuff like that. All that good stuff. I don't know.
Forehead.
Luigi.
Stuff.
6
Are you stuff? Six Ed? But thank you guys for watching. We appreciate all of you. You're all amazing.
Thank you.
Love you.
Enjoy
We
the
love you.
wrinkly pink animal in my lap that's been weighing me down because she weighs
Snorri Dory.
Nori Dory. All right,
Goodbye.
everyone wave bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Slam my mic.